Age 20, a time when our hearts are full of dreams. We believe that with effort, everything is possible. It's the start of a new journey, where we want to prove ourselves and change the world. But every journey begins with its first stumble. We expect everything to go smoothly, but reality hits like a cold splash of water. Failed projects, rejections, sleepless nights, and then we start to doubt. Am I good enough? Is this the right path? Early stumbles don't mean we're weak, they mean we're learning to grow. Every mistake is a valuable lesson. Age 20 is not for perfection, it's for trying, falling, and rising again after the stumbles. What haunts us isn't the bruises, it's fear. Fear of being judged, of not being good enough, of trying again and falling again. Suddenly, 20 doesn't feel as free as we imagined because fear is holding us back. Scrolling through social media, we see friends landing jobs, starting businesses, studying abroad, graduating, and us still struggling to figure things out. Comparison exhausts us. We forget that everyone grows at their own pace. Amidst the chaos, maybe the best thing we can do is to begin with one small step. Rewrite your CV, learn a new skill, fix your sleep schedule, take a morning walk. Sometimes, the little things help us rediscover ourselves. Some reach the finish line early, while we're still stumbling forward. But slow doesn't mean less. Without a map, without directions, every step we take still matters. Slow, but real. We think others have it all figured out, but in truth, most of us are just figuring it out as we go, and that's okay. Life doesn't come with a perfect blueprint. Sometimes, a simple "are you okay?" can save an entire day. A hug, a short message, they can be light in a dark time. At 20, everyone needs kindness. At 20, we hope someone will come and save us. But the more we grow, the more we realise no one can live our life for us. We must step out of the dark on our own 2 feet. The most lasting motivation doesn't come from others' expectations, it comes from within. When we do something we believe in, we stick with it, even when no one's watching. Age 20 is about finding your own why. Even in failure, there's something to be grateful for. A listening friend, a warm meal, a dry day. Gratitude calms us, grounds us. In all uncertainty, it becomes an anchor for peace. Sometimes, giving up feels like the easiest choice. But every time we don't quit, we grow a little stronger. Not everyone is better, some are just more persistent. Sometimes, you're making progress and no one notices. Not even you. No applause, no medals, just quiet repetition. But those silent steps create real results. Hope isn't sitting and waiting for something to happen. Hope is still working, still learning, still caring for yourself, even when results are far away. Because sometimes, action is what keeps hope alive. If you feel messy, incomplete, unsure who you are, that's totally normal. Your 20s aren't for perfection. They're for becoming. We try to mimic others, thinking we'd be better if we were more like them. But you weren't born to be a copy. You were born to be you, even if that feels weird. Even if no one gets it yet, not successful yet, don't know your passion, still figuring it out, that's okay. What matters is, you don't abandon yourself. Respecting yourself is the first step to living truthfully. You think others are braver? No, they're scared too. But they keep going anyway. Growing up doesn't mean you stop being afraid. It means you stop letting fear decide for you. Some days, you don't accomplish much except staying, breathing, and that's enough. Because sometimes, not quitting is the win. You've stumbled, felt tired, wanted to quit. Good. That means you're truly alive. Your 20s don't need perfection. They just need you, still walking. Your 20s, an age old enough to be responsible, but still too young to have all the answers. Some are studying, some are working, some are just wandering, not knowing what they're doing. And that is completely okay. There's no perfect map for your 20s. If anything, it's a path you draw for yourself walking, learning, failing, adjusting as you go. There will be mornings when you wake up and feel no motivation at all, no urge to try, no desire to talk, no will to do anything. But you know what? Even if you're not moving forward, as long as you don't give up, you're already ahead of so many others. Your 20s aren't always as glamorous as social media makes them look. They're messy, exhausting, full of doubt, and many times you'll feel like quitting. But in those very moments, if you choose to take even one more step, even a shaky one, then you're growing. Remember, motivation doesn't come from fleeting inspiration. It comes from the meaning you assign to your daily actions. You don't need to become the perfect version of someone else. You just need to be honest with yourself and committed to your own journey. Compare less, focus more, and trust this. life doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards those who keep going. Each day, do just one small thing that brings you closer to who you want to become. One page read, one class attended, one email sent, one kind word spoken. Your 20s are for planting seeds. The results won't show today, maybe not even next year, but they'll come, for sure. And one day, you'll thank yourself for not quitting when everything still felt uncertain. Your 20s are like standing at a crossroads. One path leads to childhood dreams, bright but unclear. The other leads to harsh reality, concrete but suffocating. You don't know what to choose, and sometimes you don't even know who you are in all these choices. But in that confusion, you're truly alive, because if everything feels certain, you might just be living someone else's script. Your 20s are the time when you're allowed to try, allowed to make mistakes, allowed to start again. You don't need to know what you'll be doing 5 years from now. You just need to know that today, you're not standing still. People say, youth is for enjoying life. But enjoyment doesn't mean abandoning everything. It means living fully, even when you're tired, even when it hurts. You have the right to cry when it's hard, but don't ever call yourself a failure. Because failure isn't falling down. It's refusing to stand up again. Every step you take, no matter how small, is part of your journey. You don't need to go fast. You just need to not move backwards. Comparison is a trap. Some succeed at 22, others restart at 32. No one's wrong, because we all live in different time zones. Don't judge yourself by someone else's starting line. Instead, ask, did I move forward today? Even a little. Your 20s don't ask you to be perfect, to be brilliant, or to know it all. They just ask you to be honest with yourself, and brave enough to keep walking, even with doubts. One day, you'll thank yourself for not giving up when everything still felt unclear. I once sat in a small coffee shop, on a rainy afternoon, with a glass of iced milk coffee slowly losing its warmth on the table. That day, I had just turned down a job offer, not because it was bad, but because I wasn't sure I could handle it. I asked myself, what if I fail? What if they find out I'm not as capable as I pretend to be? I was afraid, so afraid that I chose to play it safe. The coffee kept growing colder, just like my motivation. I sat there for hours, doing nothing. Just watching people rush by through the window. Everyone seemed busy, like they knew exactly what they were doing. And me, I only had a messy head, an unnamed dream, and a quiet fear that maybe I wasn't good enough. Then I saw a little girl, maybe 6, learning to ride a bicycle down the street. She fell, then stood up, then fell again, and stood again. Not once did she stop to see who was watching. She just focused on trying again, and I suddenly thought, maybe growing up isn't about knowing exactly what you'll do in 10 years. Maybe it's just about standing up each time you fall, even if no one claps for you. I left the coffee shop that day. Nothing major changed. But this time, when opportunity knocks, I won't turn away just because I'm scared. Because now I understand, no one ever feels fully ready before they start. People just start and grow ready along the way. I once planted a small cactus. It was only as tall as 2 fingers, resting quietly in a little white ceramic pot. During the first week, I watered it regularly, placed it by the window, and hoped it would grow quickly. But for an entire month, nothing changed. It didn't grow taller, it didn't bloom. Nothing special happened. I started to doubt myself. Am I doing something wrong? Or maybe it's already dead and I just don't know it. Then a friend told me, cacti are like that. They live but with great patience. They grow slowly, from the inside out quietly, but steadily. I looked at myself again. At 20, I was the same. Not the smartest, not the fastest, not the most impressive. No prestigious degree, no clear career path, just repetitive days that sometimes felt meaningless. And one fragile belief, I'm trying. I used to ask myself, why haven't I done anything remarkable yet? But the truth is, not everyone has to be a bright sunflower. Some of us are just cacti resilient, quiet, surviving in dry places. That day, I sat and looked at the cactus again. It was still small, still didn't look any different. But I knew it was alive, and that was enough.